Hey, welcome back everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Well, hey, look, today we're going to focus on writing a covered call and collecting a dividend. If we can do it, I'm going to show you how I'm trying with PSX. Phillips 66, they announced their ex-dividend date being November 16th. Today is November 13th, so I need to own the shares by the end of close November 15th, because when the stock trades on November 16th, that's the ex-dividend date. The stock trades ex-dividend. So what we're going to do is we're going to buy shares today, and we're going to write a near-term covered call collecting both a little bit of stock move plus a covered call premium in the hopes of collecting the dividend. I'm going to show you exactly how that's going to play out. I'm going to show you all the numbers for that very simple, sweet swinging covered call plus dividend capture trade we're doing on PSX. But hey, look, before we get going, if you notice, we rebranded the channel Retire on Dividends and Covered Calls, because that's what I do. I actually write covered calls and collect dividends for my income in retirement. So that's what we're going to talk about. Writing covered calls, collecting dividends, and hey, selling premium in general, because it is about as close to passive income as you can make using the stock market. And that's what we're going to talk about here on the channel. So if you like anything you hear today and you want to be a part of it, subscribe to the channel. It's right there. It's free. I come back every week. We talk about timely trades that I'm doing in retirement, generating real cash flow to pay the bills, live the good life. And hey, look, if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. Now, what we're doing is this. We bought PSX shares today, and we're going to go ahead and write a covered call. I'm going to show you why I picked the certain strike price and the date. And along the way, we hope to collect that dividend, because remember, November 16th is the X date. I have to be the owner of the shares on November 15th. Well, I am the owner of the shares because I went out and bought 500 shares. This is my total income tracker. And if you're not keeping track of all of your covered call and cash secure put trades along with your dividend income, you want to go to my website, cptdashboard.com. I want you to click free spreadsheets and download your very own copy. Free videos inside of the tracker so you can learn how to use it like I do. This is my tracker, and right now these are a lot of my current trades. We're focusing on these two trades right here where you see I bought shares in PSX and I wrote the covered call. We went ahead and added an area where we're going to try to collect that dividend. Now that may or may not happen. So when this trade closes, I either collect the dividend or I don't. Let's go ahead and talk about how I set this trade up. I wanted to be a part of PSX dividend, so I had to buy the shares. So as you can see, when the stock was trading at $13.93, I went ahead and picked up 500 shares. So my cost basis is about $56,000. I'm going to show you that in the numbers here in a second. I went ahead and then picked the 115 strike. I got paid $1 for that, and we went ahead and picked the November 24th expiration date. We wrote 5 contracts. So that sets up what I'm about to show you now. Now, one of the most important things you need to do is always check the charts. The chart has to speak to you. And I'll tell you what, PSX is speaking to me. Because notice its support line and how PSX is absolutely dancing off of it. Now, what I believe is going to happen is this. Since a recent sell-off, it's had a little bit of movement higher. Not much, but just enough to get that upward movement. And with the ex-dividend date coming November 16th, people are going to need to be in the stock by November 15th. Now remember, it's November 13th today, so I went ahead and took a position. When the stock was trading at 113x, you can see it says 114. That's a real-time stock quote. So the stock has actually moved higher since I've done this covered call. I went ahead and bought the 500 shares thinking to myself, this is a pretty sweet swinging trade. It's trading at about $113.84. And the dividend's coming, and it's $1.05. So I'm thinking Wall Street is looking at this very same support line. There isn't much out there in the markets right now, so Wall Street's going to look for that fat $1 dividend. Now, if you're wondering why PSX hits my radar, it's because it was loaded into the Dividend dashboard, which is inside the upgraded CTP dashboard. So during the next 7 days, we load up all the stocks that are going to have dividends. We load them up with the X date and all the good information that comes with it. What I love to do is sort that dividend dashboard by the quarterly dividend, and you can see it right here. I love to sort it by the highest number so I can find those stocks that are paying about $1. I love collecting that buck, and then I'm going to try to write the covered call. Well, PSX is actually on that list, as well as Chevron. Now, I was going to get involved in Chevron, but notice PSX instead. We're going to go with it. We're going to talk about how you can gain access to that here shortly. But that's the setup. I found PSX on the Dividend dashboard, and now I need to take action. I need to look at when they're going to have their X date so I can own the shares today. And if the chart is telling me a story for which I think this can go higher, well, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to buy my shares, and then I'm going to sell that covered call. It's going to be a slightly out of the money covered call, because what I think is going to happen is this. The stock is going to drift higher over the next couple days. And to be honest with you, it actually might be trading above 115 come November 15th. And what does that mean? That means the call buyer, the person who bought my covered call, the 115 strike, paid me $1 per share. They're going to pay me $1.15 per share to have the shares so they can collect the dividend. Let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers so we can really see how this plays out come November 16th. And also, notice that this is only an 11-day trade. Even if I still own the shares and collect the dividend, the expiration is November 24th, so my money is not tied up for 30 to 40 days. And that's what makes this trade unbelievable, and I just sent this to the members. Now let's take a look at the numbers. We'll start at the bottom. What if my shares are taken and I don't get the dividend? Well, that's simple. In 3 days, I'm going to collect $350 on the stock move because they're going to pay me $115 for my shares. I'm going to keep that cover call premium, which is $500. That's $850 in 3 days, or 1.49% in 3 days. And check out if you were to extrapolate that annually. Well, we don't look at that because, quite frankly, we're not doing this annually. That's 3 days. Now what happens if my shares are not taken and I collect the dividend? That's 11 days. We do not collect the stock move because nobody took my shares at 115, but we do collect the $500 in the premium and $525 in the dividend, knocking down $1,125 or 1.79% in 11 days. These are the kind of trades we want to do when we're using the covered call plus dividend capture strategy. And I'll tell you what, with that chart looking like that, I feel I can manage this trade even if it drifts a little bit lower to possibly 109. I don't have a problem with it. Now let's talk about what happens if we make max profit, knocking it down, collecting 115 for our shares, collecting the dividend, and keeping that covered call premium. Well, it's quite simple. We're going to knock down $1,375 or 2.41% in 11 days. Look, this is called the covered call with dividend capture strategy. There's many ways to work these numbers. This just happens to be one of them where I'm using an out of the money strike. Typically, we like to use the in the money strike, but this one sets up perfect for me to use the slightly out of the money strike. I truly believe that this is going to be a successful max profit trade, as Wall Street will be enticed for that juicy dividend. And with the stock selling off to support recently, I think it's more favorable for PSX to go higher than lower. Now, I told you I was going to tell you how you can gain access to the premium dividend dashboard within the upgraded CTP dashboard. Look, I've been doing this for 3 years. The dashboard allows you to go out, search, and do your research on your next great cover call candidate. Inside the upgraded CTP dashboard is the dividend dashboard, where when you search it, you can look for all those great companies that will be having their dividend rather shortly, and you could set up a trade just like the one I explained here. In the description below is your 1 free month offer to join my upgraded CTP dashboard membership, where I send out members all of my trades, and I also send them trade ideas just like the one I talked about here. I also do videos that you don't see here on YouTube, and in fact, we have a phone app for which you can watch all the videos inside, which is updated every single time I do one. Go to CPT Dashboard, click Upgraded Dashboard. I have a 1 free month offer waiting for you. I would love to welcome you aboard. Hey, look, we're going to be doing a lot more about writing covered calls and capturing that dividend, so you want to stick around. You want to subscribe to the channel, because if you want to retire using somewhat of a passive income, using dividends and selling premium, if you're asking me, is one of the best ways to do it. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy, most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.